Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in today. I got Phil with me. You're a legend here in Tucson, honestly. I mean, I've seen you on Instagram and everything. You have a big presence, so thanks for the spot today too. We're in a different location, but appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. I don't see myself as a legend, but I hope to one day when I leave this world, I hope that's the mark that I left on people and how people see me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been cutting hair for how long now? Isn't it over 15 years? That's where...
Yeah, shoot, man. I've been cutting hair over 20 years, but I've been working in a barbershop for almost 16 years.
Your handle used to be Philip the Barber, or was it Phil the Barber?
Barber Phil 15.
Barber Phil? Oh, my bad, yeah. So how did you get your start with, obviously, like I know you as the media guy and you do a lot with short form and things like that. How did you start with that? Like if we go back, where did you get your start with social media and filming videos and everything? Honestly,
I started doing it for myself. I built my platform first. I remember when Instagram came out, it was just like posting photos of haircuts and throwing a million filters on it and making it look cool, right? And so I started doing that, and then I started, building my brand and building my name within my industry. And so once I was able to do it for myself and then guide barbers along the way as well, like barbers that work for me and, just give them advice, it became a thing. Excuse me. Just giving them advice and it became a thing. But it started with a client of mine who was she hired me to teach her son how to cut hair. And she's a local stylist that's really well known. And she asked me to teach her how to build her platform on her social media. I was like, well, I've never done that. And she's like, all right. She's like, I'll pay you. It's like, cool. So I worked with her and helped her scale. So that was kind of like my first test subject, right? And then it went from there to helping my girlfriend scale her social media platforms. And then another client of ours who was a personal trainer, she hired me to do that. And so once I just started getting more reps in and just doing it for others, it really helped me to build the confidence to be able to do it for a lot of other people.
That's really cool. So you've branched out. In your opinion, like how important is media for small businesses?
Oh, it's not just important for small businesses, it's important for every business. And I don't think a lot of people don't realize every big corporation in the world honestly puts in at least 10% of their annual revenue into marketing.
Right.
And so I always tell people if you look at Bud Light, they spend millions of dollars to be on ads for the Super Bowl, right? And they could easily justify well, we're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, we don't need to do that. But they understand the power and this, the how much leverage it gives you and how much branding can do for you, that they continue to do it. And so if anybody that doesn't do that now and you're not prioritizing your marketing or your media, you're already losing.
It's true. How did you find out that it was helping you? Like at what point did you get more clients in because of social media? Like were you posting on Instagram and you started having people come to you because of that?
Yeah, at first it was that. I started to be able to attract clients, and I was gaining maybe 4 to 5 leads a week just off of posting haircuts and stuff. And then it became a thing where I built a brand where I built Barber Phil 15 or whatever my handle was. Barber Phil became a brand to where I've built the following and been able to leverage my following to be able to do anything that I want with it. Meaning I started teaching classes, that's how I market my classes. Started doing media, that's how I market my media. I've used the platform that I've built to be able to leverage any business that I want.
At what point did so you've kind of branched out, so you were cutting hair full time. Now you don't, you still do that, but that's not
one and a half days a week right now.
Really? So outside of that, what does it look like now for you with media? I know we were talking a little bit about this before, but you pick up clients and what are you looking for in media?
Essentially what we do is we're helping people build a brand and create a voice for themselves through short form content. And so a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people are struggling with direction. They're struggling with strategy. And that's what we do. We're your coach, we're your mentor, we're your strategist. We figure out what we need to do to post on your platforms to be able to become an authority and be able to generate sales and be able to people be attracted, to be able to help people be attracted to your page, not just posting just to post.
Yeah. I feel like people don't understand how hard that actually is. I'm sure you see it all the time because it's a part of your job, but I've seen extroverted people get in front of a camera and like they're really confident, really cocky people, and then you press record and they go, and they can't do it. So, like, what are things that you've seen, or like how often do you have to help people kind of through that, or?
Oh, that's like the biggest part of the job, man. And I realized that quick once we started when we stopped, recording for people, and like, okay, well, you could choose this package or you do it by yourself. Yeah. And then after 1 or 2 months, they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna hire you to come do it. And so that's the biggest thing that I know what makes us stand out is like, we don't just plop a camera in front of your face and give you a script to read. We coach you through it, we guide you, we teach you on your tonality, we teach you on your energy, we teach you on the cadence of the way you speak. Like, we guide you through all of that.
While we're on the topic of that too, how much of that, influences whether a video goes like viral or not? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Is there a lot of things people do wrong?
Yeah. It's a big part, because that's the same thing like if you were creating a movie. Like, tonality and the way it's said and how it's said is everything. The framework that it was said is everything. And that's essentially what we do is like we frame it in a way that attracts the consumer and gets people to your page for you to be able to generate sales and leads.
Yeah. What is something that everyone doesn't get? Like, what's the hardest hurdle? Like, the hurdle that you have to overcome with people? Like, when you're working with clients, what's something that everybody seems to struggle with making videos?
Consistency.
Really?
Yeah, and that's not just content. That's like life, right? Like, that's why people can't get in shape, because they can't be consistent. They can't be disciplined. And so when you're creating content, like, it's a full-time job, bro. Like, running a social media platform is not for the weak. Like, it's not something that everybody could do, because if everybody would do it, everybody would have 100,000 followers. Everybody, would be getting rich off of it, and it's not easy. And that's one thing that I tried to tell clients, like, try to be very transparent with them right out the gate. Like, look, this isn't gonna be easy. It's gonna require a lot of you and require a lot of me. If you're okay with that, then this could work. And I just try to be transparent, because I don't like to feed people a dream of, oh, well, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna get you 100K, da 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 da. Like, nah, man. Like, it's like being in a relationship. Once you sign with us, like, you're in a relationship with us. We get close. We get to know each other. Like, we go through ups and downs together, and essentially we're here to guide you through that and be able to help you, grow your business.
You do that with your own page too, I'm assuming, because everyone starts with no followers, 0 followers. How long have you had like your social media accounts, and how long has it taken to build them to where they are now?
In the beginning, social media, like Instagram, has been almost like a 10-year thing, but I spent a lot of years doing the wrong things before I knew how to do the right things. And so, an example, I did a case study on myself, and I have the proof, and I got the receipts for people. Like, I remember I told one of my barbers one day, I was like, yo, I just started TikTok. I've never done TikTok. I go in 4 months, I guarantee I'll get to 20,000 followers. Got it.
Really?
Yeah, we still talk about it to this day. He works at the shop with me. And then I told him, remember I told you that? He's like, yeah, I remember. And it's just because I learned what to do. But before I was also learning what not to do. And so that's what it is. And I know it's not always about the followers, because especially now, because social media is different now. Now with the algorithms and things like that, like, you don't need a big following to create a big impact. You can go viral and not even have a lot of followers. And so just learning how to do that has been the key, and learning how to apply those same frameworks to other people has been the fun part. The fun part of it too, yeah.
Yeah, I know everyone spends a lot of time on social media, so we're seeing it all the time, but like, at a high level, what's the secret to having a successful video? You know what I mean? Like, if you boil it down, what are some of the elements that people are probably missing?
Well, you probably hear this a lot now, but the biggest is the hook. The hook is everything. And the hook is what actually gets people to stop scrolling. Because people are looking on their phone, right, and they're going like this. So what are you going to do within that first 2 to 3 seconds to get them to stop? So then once you get them to stop, how do you keep them there? Because people's attention spans are literally 0. So like, how do you get somebody to stop for 30 seconds, let alone a YouTube video that's 30 minutes, right? It's building up that anticipation. So it's just like, what did you do to get their attention? What are you going to say next to keep their attention? And then how are you going to finish? Because the finish is going to determine whether they're either going to purchase or they're going to keep binging your content. And so that's essentially what I did with my page, was like, I created so much value. So like, even now, like, I'll be real with you, since you reposted me on your page today, I've gotten a few follows.
Really?
And those people that I clicked and saw, they have nothing to do with barbering. Nothing to do with media, but I know that I built a page that it's consumable, that people will find value in it no matter what they do.
That's pretty cool. So, I mean, I bet people watching this, and a lot of people, they like want to go viral or want to have a big page and everything. What would you recommend to someone if they want to make money off of social media this year? Like, is it about just having a big personal brand or going viral on like a video, or like how do they do that?
No, and I feel like that's a big misconception about going viral. Like I get it. Like going viral is cool. Like it feels good, bro. Like it does. Like don't get me wrong. Like I still track those metrics of like how my videos are performing. But the key isn't to go viral. The key is to build a brand. Meaning, like I always use my girlfriend as an example. She's a lash artist and she has a very strong following. Her growth in the past 2 years has been slower than maybe you would want, or maybe like the expectations of what we had. But the difference is, before she even reached 10K followers, right? Every time she would post, she would get more views than follows, and her engagement's crazy. And when she speaks, people listen. When she sells something, people buy, because she's built trust with her audience, and people resonate with her, and people connect with her. So to me, that's most important now in 2025, is like building a strong connection with the people that do fuck with you. Because I feel like when you go viral, you're trying to be for everybody, and you're never gonna be for everybody, one. And two, I've seen a lot of pages that have the 100,000 followers, the 200,000 followers, the 1,000,000 followers. And a lot of those, like how much of those even generate into real sales? Or how much of those people are really genuinely fuck with you, right? And so, excuse my language, I don't know if I'm supposed to put on this podcast. I don't know what kind of podcast this is. But yeah, man, like having just a strong relationship with your audience, I feel is most important.
Do you think it's easier to make money, like if you have, say, a service or a product to sell, say it's like a low ticket item, is it easier to make money that way on social media in your opinion? Or like, I have nothing to sell, I just want to go viral and maybe make money off of like ads or views or however that works?
I think long term, that's a long term game. So like, meaning like if you're just looking for growth and you just want to build your following, essentially you're building a brand. But then it's what you do after you build a brand that matters most, right? So like an example, I have a client, her name is Vanessa, and she goes by my vanity on social media. She's a makeup artist. And what we did was, we didn't sell anything until the following came. So she was just giving out free information, built the following. So now that she has the following, then she can leverage the following. And so when people ask me that, I just got asked that yesterday too, like, do you make money off of social media? Meaning like, do I monetize, or do I, like where you can get paid for posting on reels and stuff? I monetize in different ways. For me, social media is just one big ass lead magnet. And like I told you earlier, like everything or any business that I come up with, I just leverage my following, to be able to sell those items.
Right.
Or people would consider monetizing to where like I work with companies in the barber industry, and they pay me to create content. They pay me to teach classes for them. Like I leverage the following and the voice that I have, because if I didn't have that, they wouldn't pay me for that. Like I wouldn't have not the validation, but what's the word? They wouldn't have the equity in my business, meaning they're looking for followers, they're looking for views. It's like looking for like an ad. Like if I'm gonna run an ad, I want to see this many views per video. If I didn't have that following, then they probably wouldn't want to pay me.
So have you done that for people? You have, right? Like affiliate marketing or...
Yeah, I work with 3 different companies in the barber industry. So I still got my foot in the barber industry. Every time I try to step out, I get pulled back in, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I work with the Clipper Company. I work with JRL Clipper Company. I work with Masaki Shears. I work with iStyle Barber products, like supplies, like hair products. And so I work with each one of those companies, and, we help market them, and then I'm an educator for them. I teach for them. And so I've leveraged my following to be able to get those things.
That's awesome. So someone watching right now, or I bet a lot of people watching have nothing to sell. Like, should they build a personal brand for themselves?
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like if they want to do that?
Yeah, because it's just leverage. You're just stacking leverage up, right? And you build the following. Because even like you said, what you just said, like if say I don't have a business right now,
yeah,
and you just like posting and you like creating, I would build your following, but at the same time you have to learn what you're gonna sell. And in that process, you have to learn, what am I gonna sell? Because if not, it could backfire. Like for an example, let's say you built a following on bike riding. I'm just gonna go bike ride every day, and all your followers are just bike riders. So you're a bike rider, and you create a following on that. But then you decide that you want to get into realty. All of your followers are there for bike riding, not for realty. Mm-hmm. So you have to be careful with that. I actually spoke to a person recently that said that they were a knife thrower, right? And before that, and they built a whole following off of that. But now they're a life coach, and they sell other stuff. And so the views are super, super low because the people that follow that person were there for knife throwing, not for life coaching.
Right.
And so, yeah, you just got to be careful about what you're going to be building for.
So if someone's starting from nothing then, like 0 followers, nothing, would you tell them to niche down first? Or would you tell them, like, just kind of put yourself out there, talk about anything? Because I see people talk about anything.
Yeah, I'll tell them that, but it doesn't mean I did that. Because it would be contradictory to say that, yeah, that's what you got to do. Because I know I like to post a lot of different types of content. And that's where I tell people, too, like, on average right now, I gain about 200 followers a week.
Really?
Which is, for a lot of people, that's dope. But I know that if I really wanted to niche down, and I know what people are on my page for, the barbers. So if I really niche down and know what it built my following in the first place and just started posting that kind of content, I could get to 100,000 followers quick. Like, I already know. But I know that my goals aren't just into barbering. My goals are other places. And so I spread out the types of content that I have because I want to attract everybody, not just barbers.
Yeah, I mean, it attracted me onto your page because I'm like, not a lot of people make high quality content. So I get inspired by that. I like seeing that too. So,
I tie it in because even when I do a barber video, it's still posted at a high quality level. But then I still try to be relatable to people that even if you weren't a barber, you'd be like, yo, and I had a lot of people tell me that, like, yo, I love your page. I'm not even a barber, but I just follow you. I was like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, and that's when I knew though. Like, that's when I knew I was like, oh shit, like I'm onto something, you know? But the numbers might not justify that. Because I know, like, when I post like this, if I chop this video up and I post it on short form, it's not going to do as well as a barber video. But to me, that doesn't matter in this moment because I know that this is what I'm building for. I'm building for connection. I'm building for relationships with people rather than just trying. That's why I said, like, the virality isn't as important as it used to be.
So you don't care about that as much then? Like, obviously everyone wants a huge page, but you're not just going to, like, make viral videos or...
No, I'm here to build an impact, bro. I'm here to help people. I'm here to grow. So if I just focus on helping barbers, like, I feel like I'm limiting myself. So, like, I want to help everybody. Like, anybody that's a small business owner, anybody that's trying to scale, I want to be able to be an aid for you in your growth as a business owner. Because for me personally, I see myself as a businessman first and a barber second. And that's just perspective. And so that's who I am. Like, if you really get to know me, I talk to you about business all day. I was just in a meeting right now and I had to, like, yo, I gotta go. I gotta be there. But we were just so lost in the sauce about talking about business and just mindset and things. That's what I'm passionate about in this moment of my career. That's what I want to put out.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's what got me into doing these podcasts anyways, because it's like, I'd never met you before, but now I can get an insight on, like, your life and business and how you've kind of made an impact and made a living for yourself. So going forward then, your goals have kind of changed then, I'm assuming. So what motivates you now? Like, what's driving you and what do you want to be accomplishing this year?
Oh, man.
Or going forward, whatever, yeah.
Just in general, just connecting with people and scaling the new company, you know, the new media marketing thing that we have going on. We have goals that we've set that we're trying to accomplish. And just honestly, just to try to, every business that I own, I want to just for it to flourish this year. Because we've done the building. I've been building for years. And so it's like, I just want to be able to just have them flourish and be able for them to sustain themselves. Because from what I've learned in the past couple of years, that I guess you could say, not regret, but just lessons that I had to learn from the past, is I would take pride in the fact that if I wasn't a part of my business, it would fail. And that was like an ego thing, right? Like, oh, well, if I leave today, this business fails. I was like, that would feed my ego. But then I realized later, listening to like people like Alex Hermosi, like, your business has no value if it needs you in it. And I was just like, damn, he's right. And I had to just like self-reflect. I'm like, damn. So my goal now is like, I want to build sustainable businesses that don't need me to physically be there all the time.
Yeah, I love Alex Hormozy too. So
awesome
when
guy.
we were talking about that, I think he'll make a video about like no strips. He'll make a video about like doing calves, but then he's like running this huge company, like making millions of dollars too.
Yeah.
So I'm sure like what you're talking about, I think he's also doing it at his company, and he spends like thousands of dollars a month marketing and making videos. He has a content team and all that. So I'm assuming what you're saying is important to whether you're small, whether you're huge, whatever kind of business you have.
Yeah, man, I really love Alex Hormozy. If anybody, like I always ask people, do you know who it is? And very few people do. And for the ones that do know, they're like, yo, I fuck with him heavy, right? And so like I try to tell everybody about him. He's like one of those mentors that you never met. You ever have those?
Oh yeah,
Like
he is one, because I'll throw on his podcast or like the videos, because he's just like so genuine, and he'll just say stuff just how it is. It's not like a lot of the flashy, like maybe he's getting better at that now, but
yeah, no, and I fuck with that heavy. That's how he resonates to me, because that's how I was taught. Like real wealth is quiet, flashy is usually broke, you know. And so I'm never like that. Like I always tell people, like everything that I own that's valuable, like my watch or my chain, it was a gift. I've never really purchased something like that.
Really?
Yeah, like I've purchased very few things that have that kind of value. Even my cars, like I don't really care about what I drive. Like I drive a fucking Ford Fusion, bro. Like the Toyota Highlander. Like I hate car payments, so it's like, why am I gonna go get myself in a fucking Mercedes or like an expensive vehicle? There's nothing wrong with that, because I do plan. Obviously, like who wouldn't want one day, right? But it's just I know that if it's like something that's gonna stop me from being able to invest back into my business, why would I? It's a liability. It's not an asset.
What do you think about people then that use that on social media? Like, I don't know if that's changed over the years, but I'm sure you see a lot of that.
I feel like I feel like in the beginning, that's what social media was. It was like, look at my new car, look at my vacation, look at my dinner. Like, it was just like a big ass flex. That's all social media, like Instagram was. In the beginning, it was just like a big flex. But it had to shift, because when TikTok came about, everything became entertainment. So how do you entertain people? You could either make them laugh or you could teach them some shit. And that's all we consume social media for now, is one or two of those things. Like if I see people posting their new car, like the first thing I'm swipe on to the next one. Like,
well, I think we understand now, like, I mean, a lot of social media is just fake.
yeah,
like,
it's all smoke and mirrors. Yeah. And I think that's another big reason why I'm not, I guess you could say I'm not flashy, but I also try to just be myself. The same way like I'm on social media is the same way you're gonna see when you meet me. Because of that. Because I remember like growing up in the barber industry and following, you know, well-known barbers, and then I meet them, I'm like, oh, you're nothing, like you're paid, like this is weird, right? And so I just always tell myself I never want to be that guy. And I'm not saying I'm not, because maybe I haven't, I just don't know, right? But I've always taken pride in like not being that guy.
Yeah, I think people can see through that too, because when I go on social media, I want to find someone that I connect with. Mm-hmm. I don't care about like if you're in a jet or if you have a cool car or whatever that you're flexing. Like I think all of us have gotten smarter, where it's just like, okay, especially like COVID, being inside a lot, people just want to like connect with people. Mm-hmm. Like you, I like your page, and how like it seems a lot more authentic because you're not taking a picture in front of a Mercedes or whatever. Which there's nothing wrong with that. Like
but some people like that though. And so for me, it's like, why would I want to attract an avatar? That would be like an avatar, a person that I don't really connect with, right? Because I'm not that kind of person. Why would I perceive myself as that kind of person to be able to connect to people that are like that? Does that make sense?
Right. I've heard that before. Do you think that's important? I guess on the topic of like producing content, is it important to have someone in mind that you're making it for? Do you do that?
Yeah, for sure. You have to know who your ideal client is. You have to know who your avatar is. And I know who my avatar is. And it's funny because it's not just who I attract on social media, it's also who I attract in my life, in a positive and a negative way. Positive is like a lot of my clients are entrepreneurs, small business owners. They think like me. We're always having deep ass conversations. Or if they're not, they're like my riders, like people that have just been, you know, riding with me since I was like 15 years old, since I started cutting hair, right? Yeah. And they've been riding with me so long, but then they'll tell me like, yo, like I still go to you, bro, because I just love your growth, and I've watched your whole journey, and I just support it. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, like that's dope. In the negative light, I feel like I've pushed people away. Where I remember in the beginning, I remember it used to hurt my feelings. Like, well, like, am I a bad person? Or like, am I just not for people? Am I rude? But the people that aren't meant to be in my life end up finding their way out because I'm just myself, or this is the way I think, this is the way I move, And if I'm for you, I'm for you. And if not, that's cool with me. Like, no hard feelings.
Have you had a lot of struggles, like building your page up? Have you gone through, do you feel like it's been really tough coming up from like just cutting hair to then like having the media aspect of it and making content? Like, was that hard for you? Did it come easy? Or like making your personal brand, essentially, like everything that you've done now?
Shit, bro. It has 10 years running, bro. That shit is not easy, bro. And that's what people don't understand. They think this shit happens overnight. And for some people it does, but then once you get it, you gotta know what to do with it. So I feel like sometimes when you hit the lottery and your page blows up, you don't know what to do with it. And you don't know how to maintain it. And what I mean by maintain it is, like, I've seen people that have big followings and they remember what they did to help them blow up, but that's not gonna work anymore. And so if you're not constantly evolving and constantly figuring out what your audience wants to see, your page is gonna stop growing. And that's where I guess you could say in the beginning it was really stressful, because I was just like throwing shit on the wall and hoping it'd stick, right? Now it's like I know exactly what I need to do, and humbly, like, I don't try and it still happens.
Right.
Like, even with TikTok, I don't try and it's still growing because I figured out who my ideal avatar is.
So looking back, what kind of advice would you give to yourself like 10 years ago, or that person that's starting out that wants to, you know, obviously everyone wants to make money from social media. Like, what would you say to yourself?
What would I have done differently?
Right. Like knowing what you know now.
Probably paid for help.
Really?
I feel like a lot of people try to figure it out on their own, and they're just taking the dark road. Because I had to figure it out on my own, and if I could give myself advice back then, is like, yo, just put up the cash, don't blow your money on stupid shit, and just pay somebody to help you. And back then, I don't think it was like as accessible as it is now. So like now in today's age, there's so many ways you can grow up. Like anything you want to do, anything, any career. Literally, there's somebody ready to sell it to you.
Yeah. I've heard that too from like school games, what Hormozy does, of just like the most random thing. Someone has like 10,000 followers, but they're making like $1 million off of like something very just peculiar, like a very interesting niche. So I think that's a good point that you have too, is like condense the time that it took you to actually get there and learn from someone else, like learning from you or learning from, you know, someone else in the game that's actually been doing it.
Yeah, man. I do. And I've always learned from people, but just more investment into that. So more investing back into me rather than into dumb shit.
So do you have mentors at this stage, like as far as the media business, or do you just have?
Oh yeah, bro. I got mentors for everything. I got mentors for life. I got mentors for business. I always look up to people. I always seek help. I was just in a meeting right now, you know, connecting with somebody, trying to understand how they do what they do so that I could do it, right? Like, and just connecting with each other. I'm really big on learning from people. I learn every day. Like, no matter what, I don't care what stage I'm in. Like, I could be at stage 100, I'm trying to get to 101. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, I'm always just a student to the game, and I'm addicted to growth.
I think right there, that's huge. That's probably why a lot of people don't grow or they stop growing. It's just because, like, maybe an unrealistic expectation. Like, I'm going to make a video, I hope it goes viral. I feel stupid, now I'm going to stop. And then it's like, oh, this isn't for me. But like anything, going to the gym or like a diet or anything, it's just like you start, it doesn't look pretty, and then you keep going. So I think, like, I see that in you and what you've done. So that's why you can see like your page now. You're like, oh, this looks really clean. This looks nice. Like everything you've built up so far.
Yeah, man. It's just a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error. And that's why I have to tell clients, it's like, yo, like, this takes time. There's no lottery ticket here.
Yeah. So then moving forward, we kind of talked about it, but you want to be taking on more clients. Like, you want to grow in the media business and grow your team?
Yeah, man, we want to grow the team. That's right now we're setting up the back end of stuff to be able to handle that capacity of clients. But yeah, we definitely plan to double what we're doing now and then quadruple by the end of the year, Lord willing. And if that's what we're meant to do, then we'll do it.
4X that you want to?
Oh, for sure, yeah. So I got the number in my head, and I know what we're gonna need to be able to really like build wealth and sustain it. And so we're hoping to get to that by the end of the year.
That's incredible. You want that to be your main thing, or you want that, I mean, you're giving a lot of attention to that this year?
I am giving a lot of attention to it. I don't know if it is my main thing, but I love it. Like, I love genuinely helping people, because what we're doing, like, we're just helping people, man.
Right.
And I love helping people, and so if I could do that in other avenues aside from just barbering, then I'm cool with it. Even with a salon, like, we own a salon for lash artists, like, I'm helping lash artists now. Like, never thought I'd be doing that, but here we are, right? And so just being able to be a servant and being able to help people, like, I genuinely get satisfaction out of that. And yeah, like we gotta make money. But the thing is that people don't understand, it's like it's not the money that we're chasing, it's the growth. Because when you grow, you can make money. When you grow, you can help. So if I could just grow, I could do both.
Yeah, I love that. So to put a plug in for your brand, it's Iconic, right? Or how do people
It's
find
Iconic. Yeah, Iconic Consulting.
Okay.
And if you need services or you're interested in, scaling your business through short form content, you can DM me, you can reach out to us. We're in the process of building out our website. We're getting all the back end stuff done. Because honestly, like, it grew faster than I thought. And it grew faster than I was ready for. And so as of right now, it's just, you could DM me, we set you up a discovery call, see if you qualify, see if we're a fit, and we're looking to be able to take on more clients.
I love that. I know I have faith that it's going to be growing, man. I mean, the stuff that you're doing is way cool. And I think a lot of people need help with that, like businesses. Because when you see like an older couple, like a mom and pop business, and they don't understand the marketing yet, it's like, or if you want to save money, I know people are just trying to save money. They don't want to spend it, but then it's like...
I see it all the time, and then even my clients too, because they're around us so much and they learn so much. I had one of my clients tell me the other day, she's like, oh, I was watching this video the other day, it's so bad, like they need your help. And so like even my own clients are scouting people for me and seeing what needs to, seeing what's wrong with people's content and just how it could be framed better. But essentially that's what it is, man. We're just telling stories and we're building a brand, and that's why you say how you connect to people is we're just storytelling. That's all we're doing. We're storytelling, and we're doing that to be able to connect and be able to sell and be able to scale your business.
Yeah, people buy from people.
Yes, people
for sure.
buy from people.
Yeah. What's the quote too? I think I've heard you say of like you just offer free, value, value, and then people will come to you to buy something from you.
Yeah, it's the Hermosi method, and it's given till they ask.
Given till they ask.
And that's what we did. Is just like we just kept giving us so much information that people were wanting to give us money. And I feel like that's a long-term game to play. But the difference was back then I was doing it, but I didn't realize why I was doing it. And then when I heard Hermosi say, I'm like, wow, I did that. So that's how you do it. And that's what it is. Or you could even take like the Vaynerchuk approach, like with Gary Vaynerchuk, is like jab, jab, right hook. Give, and then you ask. And so that's kind of the more sustainable method as far as for people that are looking to scale, because a lot of people need to make money, need their business to grow. And so fortunately I was already doing well as a barber, but I was able to build a brand and I had income to support that. As long as that was taking, I had the income in the back end to do that.
I think maybe as we wrap up here, a question that people might have, I kind of have, so maybe it's not smart to say I'm going to quit my job and just go all in on content if you don't have something to... like if you don't have the money to support it, it's probably not smart to like just jump right in.
No, because it's free. Like, you know what I mean? Like obviously it's not free to hire an agency, but the biggest thing that I tell people is just do the thing. Like just create the content, because as you create, you get better. And so like I have some clients that need a lot of help with creating their own content, and some clients that are pretty good at it. Some clients that they're doing it themselves, they just need the right direction, right? And so whatever level you're on, like just be doing the thing. And that's like going to the gym, right? When you start going to the gym, the hardest thing to do is what? To start. And then when you get there, you're like sore, and you're like, bro, I should have took that month off. My every body part hurts, right? And you have to go through those hiccups in the beginning, right? Where you're always sore and you're just like trying to get in that routine. So the biggest thing is to get in the routine of making content. See how that goes. Learn, get better, and then seek help.
Yeah, if I could, I agree with that. And, with what you're saying, I just started and I was like, it would be cool to make something online just so my friends could see. Took a video, it sucked. Probably took me too long to edit it and all that stuff. And then I'm, waiting for it to blow up, and it didn't. But, just because I was I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I kept making videos, and it's kind of led to just, meeting you. And then, being able to meet cool people and learn from you about your business and what you've done and strategy and all that. So,
and I think it's great, bro. Honestly, I know that I need to step into the long form sphere, and I just haven't done it yet. But I that's why I've reached out to people like you, and I did a podcast yesterday. I've been able to connect with people. I did a live last night. It's the fastest way to grow, and that's what people don't understand. Right. It's free. This didn't cost us money to be here, and we're learning and we're networking, right, for free.
I love it. It's worth like the getting in front of a camera and feeling stupid for a little bit, because I've definitely gone through that. But then it's just like it gets easier, and I mean, yeah, blessed to have this opportunity, man. There's been a lot of value in this for sure. So tell people, if they're watching, they don't know where your page is, how can they find you?
I'm Phil, Top by Phil on Instagram, and I'm a barber, entrepreneur, motivated, driven, run a media marketing agency. If you're needing help to scale your platform or to scale, your business, reach out, and hopefully we can serve you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your time, bro.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Definitely check him out, too. Subscribe if you're not. So thank you. Have a blessed day.